Hello everybody, thanks for watching Amy's Pottery and More. I'm Rob the accountant. I'm part owner of Amy's Pottery and More. It's been a little bit quiet lately. It's not been much going on. So what I want to do tonight is prepare for one of our projects that we've been working on. If you go to amyspottery.com, you'll be able to see what we've been working on as we've been making these beautiful candles. There's no particular size in terms of 4, 6, 7, or 8 ounces. We are filling them with a soy product in the United States of America. Soy is one of the largest farm products in the United States. It's bio-friendly. We use a company out of Texas, no Amazon for where we get our candle supplies, but we make this beautiful little small candle. And then we were selling these as some bowls, and the bowls go quick, but the bowls don't go as quick as the candles. So this is what it looks like without the candles. And if we come over here, grab so you guys can see some of the finished products. And so what you have is you have a small candle. It's beautiful. I'm not really sure what green this is. These are apple and cinnamon, no dye. Always make sure that you properly label your products so that if they go out to people, we live in a country that's not always, people aren't always aware of the proper way to utilize a product that you're selling. So make sure you inform them of what you're supposed to do and what not to do, just to cover yourself. So this is what we've been doing. If you go to amyspottery.com, you'll be able to buy some of this. The smaller ones are $8.33. Comes out to $9 in New York State with sales tax, and the large ones are $13.88 with sales tax. They come out to $15. And what we offer all our customers who buy these is if they want to, they can refill them. So tonight, what I'm going to do is I'm just going to go through some of the things that we're using. You know, one of the biggest things that we continue to use is some of the Mako glazes. And you know, I have some glaze combinations that I've been watching some other potters on. I would like to make some color combinations for the candles, something a little bit different that you can't get with other folks. You know, a big thing that I don't think enough people talk about is kiln wash. You know, there's really no formula. It's very powdery, like talcum powder. And you know, I had actually gotten the high fire kiln wash, but my John over at Rochester Ceramics in Rochester, New York, said that the issue with the high fire kiln wash, it has to be baked. So after you basically put a little bit of this in a bowl, and you add just a little bit of water until it becomes like cream, like creamer, or a baby formula. And then when you have enough, you just wash it right on. You paint it right onto your kiln shells. I usually hit it with an air dryer, but if you leave enough time, it'll dry out itself. And that way, if glaze runs onto your kiln shelves, when you go to remove the product that had the run, it'll pull the kiln wash, this stuff, off the bottom rather than sticking to your shelf. So this is a really good product that people should just go and check anywhere. I think I paid for this like $1.85 locally. So if you are spending a lot of money on Amazon for this stuff, just Google a local pottery supply. Promise you they'll have it for much cheaper. We got some new pokey sticks. I love these. This is one of the biggest things that I use. I don't even know what it's called, but it's from Kemper, and each one of these little bad boys is about $6 or $7. Okay. And we got our trusty scale over here. So tonight what we're going to do is we're going to, I'm going to prepare 21-pound balls of clay for the next round of candles. And what we're trying to push out right now is between 100 and 200 candles a week. So if you could just do the math, I don't think anybody's looking at the end of the day that this is going to make you millions of dollars. But one of the things that I want to show folks as Rob the Accountant, if you follow Rob the Accountant channel, is that if you just start with small baby steps and find something that you're really good at or something that you think you're good at, and you work through the bells and whistles and the ups and downs of, you know, where you're perfecting your product, and then you're able to like go to local farmers markets or little fairs and sell that product, what you'll start to see is how that's going to mature for you as a business. And then once you start to see it for something that maybe you're really passionate about but doesn't make a ton of money, hence i.e. pottery, which is an add-on for the companies that we own, then what you'll be able to do is step into something that's a little bit outside of your space. And I always say this for Rob the Accountant, is that stay out of your lane. If you're going to open a business and the first idea is that you need to go work that business, well then probably you shouldn't be opening the business, because the part about opening the business is you're investing your capital, time, and resources to manage other people and bring products and services to the market. And if you're investing all your time and effort in doing that, then you don't have the ability to get out there and interact with the company, the customer, because what you're doing is focusing on what your product line is, and that's what really it's supposed to be. And even though I'm not a big fan of Mr. I call him moron Musk, Mr. Musk is out running around while his companies are running, right? So he's out, acting foolish every day on the internet, whether it's taking away the blue check from New York Times or starting a fight with everybody else. This is, I guess, what you do when you have billions of dollars, is you go out and you diminish everybody else who's smaller than you. So, but the point of the matter is that he has that time and effort and resources to do that, because he's used his money, capital, and his knowledge. Yes, he has a little bit of knowledge to further his ability to make money, so that he can go out there and spend time doing what he likes to do, while everybody he's paying is doing the work for him. So right now we're in a little bit different space. I don't need to be the next billionaire. The companies that we run and the companies I run with, the partners I have, we're comfortable where we're at. And if we get to that $1 million mark, so be it. But if we're not, and we have enough to sort of get by and enjoy life and get that little bit of extra, a little bit more fuel in the tank, maybe an extra vacation a year, so be it. You do those little things to create the opportunities for your household. So one of the other things that we use is these GR forms, and you can just Google GR forms. This is a plate form. The intent is when we have a bigger kiln. Right now we just have a smaller kiln, is plate production. You go to Walmart, we get a lot of Chinese stuff in this country, and I'm not against one group of people or another group, so I don't want to be dismissive of that. But if I have a choice at the end of the day of hiring or buying a product that's made in America from Americans versus Chinese who have not such a great history of taking care of their workers, then I would rather hire Americans. And so we want to have plate sets, but throwing plates is a little ridiculous. There's a lot of effort, a lot of time. You simply can get a form. You can choose to get a rolling table if you want. You can get a rolling pin. But we can lay out 40 to 80 plates a day. We just don't have the capacity right now to fire those and move that process forward. But it's something that we're going to be looking at in the future. So now that I've bored you with enough things going on, I've got my handy little scraper here, or my this is terrible. I mean, the Day Shift, folks, Netflix. If you have to watch a good movie with Jamie Foxx and Snoop Doggy Dogg, okay, the reason I did that is because Day Shift is basically a great movie on Netflix, but it's a vampire movie. And it's rated R, which is interesting because it's kind of like a comedy, but there's some points in there that are a little bit scary and like whoosh. So we're going to use this handy little wire, and I got my scale. Excuse me. And I'm going to use, these are our boards that we throw on, or I throw on. So I'm going to throw one of these on my trusty little scale over here, zero it out, and we're going to get away tonight getting 20 1-pound balls prepared for the next round of Amy's Pottery and More, beautiful pottery soy candle, apple and cinnamon vanilla, and with the ability locally to refill it for $4 or $5. It's a really good. The second price of $5, that might be $7. I don't recall right now what the website pricing is, so don't hold me to that. But it's just something different. And then folks can, when you look at paraffin and some of the other products out there, and I like some of the bigger candle makers. They do really good with the scent. But when they start going to the bottom, they start getting all this black soot, and then you're just throwing glass around. One of the best things with candles is the adhesion. Since it's an organic product, clay, and most candle products are bio or organic, the adhesion tends not to be a problem. We tried to have a bunch of people throw the soy candle out and try to make it out and everything. There's just no way that even when it was lit, the soy burns in a much different manner than the paraffin. And my view is that it burns a little bit longer, which is why it's not used in the majority of the candles. Because if you look at what we're trying to do or what companies are trying to do, they're trying to make money, and you can't make money when you have a diesel engine that lasts for 40 years, or you can't make money when a candle takes a month to burn. You want people to buy candles 2 or 3 times a week. But again, we're not really looking at seeing that kind of profitability or that kind of revenue drive. What my philosophy has been is take care of the customer. People before profits. People before profits. It's actually what I always thought the Democratic Party was, until they went off the deep end. I'm not really sure where I go from there, but that's really as simple as I am. People before profits. We should take care of our brothers and sisters and the people around us before we worry about stomping all over them just to make a couple bucks. At the end of the day, those dollars, when you have them, they're great, but when it's your time to check out, you can't take them with you. And if you have no family members left, then the state just takes it, and you've done all that effort for nothing. So we like to store our balls in some bags, so I just use some old bags. Nothing important. Don't go out and buy anything new. All right, so let's get this show on the road, because you guys have probably gotten tired of my ranting. I always get told in life I talk way too much, and I probably do, because some of us when we were kids, weren't always allowed the opportunity to have a voice. And so maybe as I got older and I knew I had my own voice, it just gave me the ability to speak more. So let's get this show on the road. Today we're going to be using a Standard Ceramic. Standard Ceramic is a company out of Pittsburgh. They're a wonderful clay supplier. If you actually look at them, they supply clay to a lot of schools, and which is interesting in New York. We don't really have anything for any of our students to do. But if you go to the state of Pennsylvania and a lot of other states, as I said previously and I've said before, is that clay is a foundation of elementary school, and right up to high school, where you have the sciences in the clay and how the clay composition is. You have the science in the regards to the glaze. You have the science into how you bisque fire, how you final fire. There's so much learning aspects from pottery, which is kind of amazing to me, that when I drove with my partner down to Pittsburgh to see this beautiful factory to buy clay from Standard Ceramics, so I didn't have to pay for shipping. Probably should have paid for the shipping. The drive took about 6.5 to 8 hours, a little bit longer than I anticipated. But Standard Ceramic, they make a great clay. This is 112. It's fairly inexpensive, about $44 for a 50-pound block, and it's kind of brown right now, but when you go and Google it, you'll see, and we'll show you in the next couple weeks when we have fired a few of these, what they look like in their raw form before they're glazed. It's got this beautiful speckle to it. So this is what we are. I also have a Laguna. I think the Laguna here is 65, and this is a white clay that I'm using that I want to put up against Standard Ceramics 240. So again, one of the other things with pottery and clay is constantly challenging not the ability of what you can make or how you make it, but there's just so many different clays, and each clay body has a different set of colors and a different set of profiles, and when you're just trying to bring stuff there's so much opportunity to make that happen that it's just exciting. If you enjoy this kind of stuff, then I encourage you to get into it and just start playing around with it. So my scale keeps going off, so I'm going to start again. Once stop talking here for a minute. I'm going to tear my scale and let's get some things going. So I just always do a little 4 square, see where we're going to be. Grab a little pop off, and we are heavy right off the bat. We'll take a little bit of this off. We want to be right at 16 pounds. I think I was at 20 before, but I want to bring it down some more. There it is, 16 pounds. It doesn't have to be anything important. Okay, I mean, it doesn't have to be on 16, it can be 1610, and there we go. Just, I like to get them nice and rounded up, and then we throw them 4 to a row, and here we go. So, be interesting to know what all you folks are doing this week. Here in New York, spring is coming. Spring is here, so we're getting water. I'm still filming on this old crappy camera. I ended up going with the Panasonic lines for video and film. They're not here yet. We're still working on getting that stuff. So hopefully I'll have some better imagery equipment here in the next couple weeks for you guys that I can actually deploy. Alright, that one's not too bad. 19. So that's what we do. We get it all ready one day, and later this week somebody else will either come down and toss these into our little cylinders. One of the things that I will tell you is a little secret that I use that works out great. I don't use any fancy measuring tools or the widen mouse, but this 3-inch sponge sits perfectly in all of our candles, and so for our small ones this is the perfect opening. And then for me, I usually come up to my knuckle, so from the bottom of my finger to my knuckle is generally what results at the end of the day in this. Alright, so it's just a little good measuring trick if you want to mimic it, if you want to go and do something later. I mean, if you guys listen, I'll link. I don't know if I'll link, but I'm really not an Amazon guy, so if you want to know where the candle supplies are, Lone Star Candle Supply in Texas. Lone Star Candle Supply in Texas. Now there's other ones, but what I found about Lone Star Candle Supply in Texas is you can talk to them before you make any purchases. You can pick up their starter packs. They're there to help you. Shipping is already taken care of in the sense that since they're a true manufacturer, they already have shipping already dealt with. So if you're gonna already pay for $35 for shipping, then you maybe should get a couple £100, where that same couple £100 on Amazon is it's not gonna be $35 shipping. I promise you. So we got our first 4 done. We got a little bit of excess here, so we're gonna take our little fishtail out of here, and we're gonna go through it again. We're gonna play down a little bit, and boom, boom, and once again, here we go. Let's get the next 8 done, and that's what we do, folks. You know, play with clay, figure out shows that are coming, put our shows out there, go to the farmers markets, meet with people, try to form some relationships where maybe people want to have you make a plate or a cup for their restaurant or their quick services. Now where I live, everybody's so damn cheap, nobody cares about that, but there's some places that really care about that. There's maybe the next restaurant that's going to open up in your community. You can give them a deal where if they have to go again to Amazon or somewhere else, they're going to pay a lot of money in shipping. Maybe you could make their first 50 coffee cups for half price with the intent that when they do well and do better, they'll order the next ones from you. But I also think that sometimes the idea is that people think they're going to jump in and sell a coffee cup for $30. And I gotta be honest, I was a little bit that way too. I was like, oh well, people can't get this. They'll pay. Some people will pay. People who have a little bit different level of income than I'm used to will pay. The average person will want a nice coffee cup you make for $10 to $15. That's just what they want. And I mean, you're getting the clay for 70 cents, and the glaze is another 50 or 70 cents. I mean, that's, maybe you're in it for $4 and you're making $15. It's great money. It's awesome money. And $4, you've tripled almost, because you're walking away with $11. But the problem is people don't look at margins enough. Oh, hold on one second. Let me kill that alarm here. That's not helpful. People get too greedy and they don't look at margins. And you have to look at margins and profitability. And my rule is if anything's above 50%, after you're done producing it, it's worth doing. Alright? It's that simple. If you're making it, and at the end of the day you have a 50% margin, 50% profit margin, not markup, profit margin, you should do it. It's just that simple, especially if you're making it. The problem is sometimes we forget that when you buy something and then you resell it, you got to mark it up, and then you got to pay postage. Postage is marked up again. Everyone's playing the markup game. So if you are the guy making, or the gal making, the product from jump, then all of the markup comes your way, but you also still have to be very aware of what markup you can allow other people to have. So maybe you want to do a consignment shop, you want to put your pottery in other people's stores. Why do they want their stuff in your store when they're trying to sell their stuff? So you have to give them some meat and potatoes, and either making them some extra money, or your product is just so great they gotta have it. And you know, let's just be honest, folks. If that was true, one, you wouldn't be watching me. You would already be rich, and two, I would be calling you, asking you to be rich with you. All right, there's just some things that are undeniable, and then the undeniability is that any of us are really gonna just come out with some breakthrough product that nobody's ever seen before or ever imagined. That's not the case. What you need to do is find something inferior in your product or your market that is terrible and go make it better. And you'll find people that will come to you because of that. All right, we got number 8 there. So here we go. So you see I got these little crap balls here building up, and every once in a while I'm gonna, because they got so many air pockets, what happens is, and then I have to actually play with it on the wheel a little bit. That didn't sound horribly great. But it has all these air holes in it, and yeah, every time I have one of these and I make a container, somewhere along the line it gets a crack or it breaks out in the kiln. So I tend to just want to always leave this little excess that I'm breaking off every other piece of clay to be outside of it. But since I'm talking to you folks tonight, I can put a little bit more time and effort into it. And I know that this camera still has me on a 30-minute time limit, so we're going to make sure I speed up here. And I don't want to leave you hanging. So that's where I'm at, folks. I like you guys watching. Thank you. For folks who are watching Amy's Pottery and More, please look for Rob the Accountant. That's me. And you can go to robtheaccountant.com. And if you have any business question, any accounting question, maybe you're having a hard time in life, you got a problem you don't know how to get through, ask at robtheaccountant.com and send me an email. The email will be private. I'm going to answer the question the best I can without any bias to sell you anything or give you anything. Just want to provide an answer to you and maybe help your life be a little bit better, right? And I'll answer that question. Won't say your name or anything about it. Just answer that question, and I'll make a video of it and I'll post it so all the world to see. Now ask your question, and then I'll answer it so that you know it's your question being answered. And that, you just go to Rob the Accountant YouTube or robtheaccountant.com, and you'll see all the information relative to that. I really appreciate the people who have been following me and tagging along. And I just like to stay busy, and I like to be happy. When I say that, it's like I can get angry. The political environment definitely can get you a little bit jaded. But at the end of the day, if you don't do anything to change your environment, to me, that's the real craziness about it. Because you don't have to maintain the status quo in America. That's what's so great about it. You know, and most of the time, you already have the ability. You just don't know it because the people around you, there's too many Debbie Downers. And whenever there's success, there's going to be a Debbie Downer. And that Debbie Downer is going to give you all the things that can go wrong. I've heard it. Don't do this. Don't go there. You need this. You need that. And then, when you do it, suddenly, they're an expert. Well, you got to go this way. You got to go that way. Really? All you need to do is listen to yourself and hire a good accountant that looks out for you. And you know, a good accountant actually charges you really not a whole lot up front because information's free. We charge you when you need things done relative to helping you move your business forward. So just like a lawyer, it's good to have a lawyer, but you don't pay a lawyer every time you talk to them. I know some of them think they should be paid every time you talk to them, but not the ones I know. So that's it, folks. Do you. Don't let the world get you down. Understand it's a marathon. Okay? There's no free lottery. You know, the people who win the lottery, by the way, if you go do the research, most of them end up in a worse position down the road than they were when they started out, because the reality, folks, is if you never made $1 million, you don't know how to manage $1 million. And typically when you win $1 million, well, despite what people want to think, the reality of that is almost 60% of it is occupied by the state. And what does that mean? Well, that means that if you win $1 million or $1,000 in New York, they're going to keep $250 right off the top for taxes. And then the feds are going to want not just your ordinary income tax on it, but there's a little bit of a capital gains tax because you didn't really do much for that money. When it's all said and done, you lose about 55-60% of it. So the average person who wins $1 million goes out, thinks they have $1 million because the state has, in fact, in most places, given them almost the whole chunk of change, short of the liability that is owed to their state. Whether it's Nebraska, Tennessee, Texas, New York, you name it, they get their piece in some fashion. And that just leaves the rest of it in your pocket. But the rest won't become taxable until you file your income tax. And so folks get $750,000, and then they go out and a couple houses and a car, and suddenly they're at $700,000. And then when they file their taxes, they owe another $200,000. So now they purchased all that stuff because they won the lottery, and now they owe a tax man. So they have to owe the tax man quickly because that's not a little bit of money. He wants it quick. So now they're forced into leveraging everything they just purchased, but they have to sell it for less than they just purchased it for. And it just creates another window. So the reality is, if you don't take the time to bring your own business and company up and understand how the market is and how money works, then you just having $1 million isn't going to solve your problems, because you're just going to be with the same mindset, but just with $1 million. And if an extra 10 grand went through you like this, well, an extra $1 million is going to go just as quick. So, you know, just keep it in mind. It's just better to get out there and put your time in. And that's what I try to help. Well, I have no idea where my video stopped, hence the crappy camera. But what we'll do is we were at 16. We're going to knock out these last 4 real quick. And then I think we're going to leave it at that. A little disappointed about my video there, so we'll see how the cut works on that. But again, I'm not sure how much I was missing, but you know, the point is you got to just stay focused on you and not let the Debbie Downers get to you. And know when you're losing and it's time to move on, and know when you're winning, and you know, stay the path, so to speak. So, you know, I wanted to just talk to you folks tonight. Say hello. Been missing for a little bit. We've got some embroidery coming out. We've got a lot of little things going, a lot of little projects. It just take time. And, you know, I hope to bring you along the way with some of them. And I hope you watch and stay along for the ride with me. Maybe when I toss these new bowls, I'll have the other camera set up, and it has unlimited recording, and you know, I won't have to worry about half my lecture, so to speak, getting cut off here because of the technology. All right, there we go. And there we have it, folks. So what we'll do is we'll just clean this up a little bit. Get this clay out, hang this baby back up right there. That's a 25-pound bag. So we got about 5 pounds left here. We'll seal this up for a different project. Put it here with our other sealed bag for a project. Maybe it goes to waste. And we'll take our little 20 run here, flip it over so it stays moist. And there we have it, folks. Thanks for watching Amy's Pottery and More. I'm Rob the accountant. Hope you enjoyed this. Hope what I was saying didn't get cut off too bad before. Thanks for watching. But please, if you have any questions or concerns or anything, you need any help, please go to robtheaccountant.com, or if you have a question, please ask at robtheaccountant.com. I'll answer your question on YouTube. I'll ask the question and I'll repeat it so everyone will know, or you'll know that it's your question, and try to give you the best answer that helps you, unbiased, without any financial incentive or any. I have no skin in your game. So, you know, it's unfiltered advice. It's the best advice you could probably get. So, thanks for watching Amy's Pottery and More. Once again, I'm Rob the accountant, and I hope you have a great week. Okay? Thank you so much.